Oh. Hmm. Okay, it's gonna be maybe even a little bit noisier than usual for a trash day, everybody. Good morning, though, and welcome to Morning Medley number 262. Jesus, 262. It's 100. It's 262, but I have it listed as 162. So just ignore that for now. Blast from the past stream. You know, I would like to remember what I was doing for my 160-second stream. Thanks for asking. How's your day been so far? A sheep slee slug. everybody. Well, it's only been 30 minutes. Jesus. Hello, Josh. Oh. Yeah. I really like the song Clover Salad. I fully intend to record that song um, at some point next year. I think it keeps evolving, and it makes me uncomfortable about recording like a solid, concrete version of it because every time I seem to have what's the word? Every time I seem to have arrived at like a good final version of that song, I come up with a cool idea and I change it, make it a little bit more complicated, maybe a little bit more fluid. Um, but I think it only needs like maybe one or two additions, and then it'll be ready to record. Um, has it not plateaued a bit since it was made? The thing is, Lindsay, like there's a few times where like I mean I made the song and then I forgot the song and then I relearned the song and then I forgot the song again and then I messed with I started playing it without swing. I ended up bringing back the swing to like there's just like a few things that like I like the swing meter now or whatever you want to call it, swing rhythm. But there's very specific notes that I want to get down because once it gets to that point, it's a lot of like improv really. Like I know the general chords, but it's like I change everything slightly, and I want it to be more concrete, solid, and intentional. For example, this is one way that I do it. See that? That's a completely different chord than I usually hit, which is different. And then, or. Sometimes I say the. That's where it used to end, remember? Maybe you remember, maybe you don't. Good morning, Bo. It used to go. And then I added like this little extra part, so instead of going, it goes. So it doesn't have this like complete end feeling to it. It doesn't feel like it fully resolves and rests. It feels like there's still more that has to come out, which allows me to continue it onto the. What I've basically done is just taken a lot of the simple chords that were there and added weird alternatives, variations, extensions to them. So instead of ending on this chord, I end on this chord, which is a very similar chord. A lot of the notes are the same, just a little few things change around. And now. Why does that feel wrong? Why does this feel wrong? Whoa. Because it is wrong? That's wrong. Oh. Whoa, my brain. Okay. And then there it is. I kind of like it doing that now because it's wrong, and I kind of like that it's wrong. Anyways, need the piano this morning. Very much as Bo. You're welcome, Bo. Thank you for being here, though. Appreciate it. It does seem really challenging, though, which is one of the recorded versions. Deciding which one is the recorded version. Yeah, it is really. It's a challenge for sure. Both deciding on the recorded version and then being able to perform the recorded version reliably. Guys, this is the first time in a long time I've done a stream after eating breakfast. I mean, a Monday through Thursday stream. I know on the Friday streams I often eat before I start, but I had a waffle this morning because I skipped my workout. Oh, kind of whack. I know, but I've been doing a bad. Well, maybe I've been doing it good. I've basically been making like whack waffles for a very long time. I'm not sure exactly why I've been making whack waffles. Maybe I was doing it to save money. Maybe I was doing it to save time. Maybe I was doing it because I was lazy. But I have been making whack waffles for a pretty long time now. And I just recently started making good waffles again after a long vacation from good waffles. And now it's all I want to eat. It's just good waffles. What's good money, says Biz. Not black waffles, Bo. Whack waffles. Subpar flavor. Yeah, Lindsay. There's a lot of times in recipes with bread where you can use milk or you can use water, or there's times where you can use butter or you can just use like some vegetable oil. And I've spent about a year on the vegetable oil water side of bread recipes, and it's edible and it's fine and it's dandy, but wowee, is water and oil not a replacement at all in my brain for milk and butter. Jesus Christ. The waffles are great again. I just bought some frozen waffles. Gonna be a good morning, says Umbe. Hi, Umbe. Yeah, small variations do make a big difference, just like in music. Very good analogy, Quincy. Food analogies are usually pretty helpful. I like eggs a lot, says Bo. I I also like eggs. Do I? Not really, actually. I'm gonna go ahead and immediately back off that hill. I don't actually like eggs that much. I do eat them pretty often. I would say I go through a dozen eggs every 2 weeks. I eat about 6 eggs a week. Yeah, okay. Yeah, like 5 eggs a week. Anyways, but I don't really like eggs. Usually when I'm making eggs, they're in waffles or they're like in a sandwich, and I'm doing it for like a nutritional benefit. Like I can't just eat scrambled eggs. People that can just like take a fork and eat scrambled eggs, I can't do that. I am not a fan. But like if there's egg like mixed in with a sandwich. Also, I don't like anybody else's eggs. I have to make my eggs in a very specific way. I mean, I think a lot of people are like that actually. Like if I go to like a restaurant and they put and they're gonna put egg on something, I actually just ask for it without the egg because I usually don't like the way other people do it. But yeah, eggs have to be a part of an ensemble for me, and they can't be the main thing like an omelet. Okay, currently eating a McMuffin from McDonald's. I certainly hope so. And I'm just noticing that the egg actually looks real. Like it's not formed into a processed puck. Really? What McDonald's did you go to? I haven't had an egg McMuffin in years, so maybe that's just the way they do it now? Too much egg in an omelet. Too much egg in an omelet. Okay, I'm really upset because I have a lot of work to do, as I always do. I'm not going to belabor that point, but last night, while I was messing around in FL Studio, I got like several ideas for, what's it called? Stuff smells good, baby. Anyways, I got several ideas for, what did I get ideas for? Oh, for songs in FL Studio, I was like opening up projects from the stream, from the Friday streams, and I'm just like, oh, this is a really good idea. Oh, this is also a really good idea. I really like this idea. This is really good. And I don't want to do them. since I have a lot of work to do, I need to prioritize the like work that's going to keep, eggs on the stove, and then I will hopefully remember the ideas that I have for the Friday stream by the time Friday rolls around. Um, the like that chord progression, the like, it's really part of the it's technically part of like the song, the like, I hate saying the Christmas song, but the Christmassy song. That one, because if you listen to the chords from it, it's. Oh, do I have to play the right hand too? I kind of use those chords slightly in another. Do I like coffee? Ask Bo. I do not, actually. I just don't have the palate really for bitter things. Bo is the problem. Weak palate? I don't know what you call that, but I just don't have the palate for bitter things. So I took that same chord progression, the like. And I only took the changes from it, so. Sorry. And then I moved to the bass line in it, so it went. And then I added like this weird ending part that's kind of, there's a little bit of rhyme and reason to it, but it's mostly just random chords that I like the order they're in, so. Where was the other chord? There it is. So the chord progression goes. And starts over. So there's a lot of different ways to like transition those between those two chords. Transitioning between this chord and this chord. Sorry. Again. Transitioning between this chord and this chord. One way to do it, Weather Channel music, word up and vague. One way to do it would be. Right? Let's call that way. Let's call that way honey. This is honey. It's just a very smooth glide. This is another way to do it that I like to do. Going. Seems like it's the same, but if you play close attention, the bass line is the like indicative change here. So in one, the bass line's going all the way down here and all the way back up. Let's call that way ranch. I hate ranch. Anyways, that way's going to be called ranch. First way again, honey. Then the second way, ranch. And then the final way, I'm going to call hot sauce because I like it. And it's the way that I use in a lot of my songs, which is. Where it's kind of this weird, like, you're going down and then climbing back up into it, even with the chords. Or you can even go. But again, honey, ranch, hot sauce. and they sound very, very similar, especially when they're played back to back like that. It's like I can see somebody hearing them and going, Omni, what's the point? Just pick one at random. It doesn't really matter. It's a transitionary chord anyway. The two important chords here are this one and that one, and those two chords don't really change. The only thing that changes is the chords that's playing in the middle. You know, honey, ranch, hot sauce. Hot sauce is pretty different actually from honey and ranch are pretty similar. Honey, ranch, hot sauce. Honey, ranch, honey, hot sauce. Hot sauce. Like that's like an extra spicy hot sauce. With that note in there. Honey, hot sauce. Extra spicy hot sauce. Ranch. Ranch, honey, extra spicy hot sauce. And then the final chord. The final chord's not going to change. But when doing these like transitions, like doing these like steps, kind of like in the song I Miss You, this one. You think about the song I Miss You, it's just a series of hot sauce changes. It's a series of hot sauces. Hot sauce chord, 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 ending chord. It's just a series of hot sauces. I very rarely use. Actually, I don't think I use honey in that entire song. If I played that song with honey, one, it would be really hard for me, but it would be like. Ew, I hate it already. I hate it already. I don't even want to finish it. It's just a lot of falling notes, basically. Because remember honey? Very rarely do I do that. Very, very rarely. Mostly the hot sauce for me. I don't know if I've asked, what brand of hot sauce do you buy? I seem to remember you not being picky. I'm not really too picky. Depends on what I'm doing with the hot sauce, though, Lindsay. If I'm marinating stuff, I'll usually use some pretty low, like I'll use a majority low heat, like cheap, basically just water, vinegar, and pepper sauce type things, like tapatio. I'll like marinate chicken in tapatio. But then I'll add extra hot sauces to it. Usually when I'm adding extra hot sauces, there's a hot sauce shop in Long Beach that I buy some stuff from. They have this really, really good one that it sucks because I can't remember what the name of it is. I really just buy what the label looks like. I know what the label looks like, and it's like a skull that's wearing a sombrero. And anyways, I'll like maybe take a picture of it later and then post it somewhere. But I use that hot sauce a lot, and then I also just buy the hot sauces that are on Hot Ones. I'm like whack that way. Like usually if I see a sauce on Hot Ones, seems chill, I'll just buy that and then use that on my marinade too. There isn't too like this is kind of weird actually, but there aren't a lot of opportunities for me where I just pour hot sauce directly onto something. Sometimes when I've made, like, for example, when I've made a burrito, for example. I made burritos yesterday. When I made the burrito, it's like I have my rice, but the rice has spice in it. Like I'm adding spice to the rice as I'm cooking it. So there's that. And then I'm like cutting up peppers and putting them in the chicken and frying the chicken with peppers. And the chicken's already been marinated also with these hot sauces. And so by the time I put together the burrito's already pretty spicy. And sometimes just for flavor, just for fun, I'll like put Cholula on top of it because Cholula is like kind of sweet most of the time. And sometimes I like a sweeter hot sauce. But typically, most of my hot sauces nowadays are being mixed with things. Like I'm using them as marinades. I'm using them while I'm cooking the food. Or when I make my breakfast sandwich, I'm like taking the last dab of hot sauce from Hot Ones, and then I'm like mixing it with ketchup, and then putting that on my sandwich. Yeah. Is Valentina a hot sauce? It is a hot sauce. I would put it on the same level as like Tapatio. It's not spicy, but it does have like a pretty nice flavor to it. I've also marinated stuff in Valentina. And that's mostly because you can buy like a bottle of Valentina like this big for like, I mean like this big and like this big around. It's like a jug almost. You can buy Valentina that big for like $4. Like it's very cheap. And so a lot of times I'll marinate things in Valentina. Bo. I don't like it very much as Bo. Bo, I've never actually just like eaten it plain. I use it specifically as a marinade base. Also, I want to say if you are somebody that likes marinating meat and you want to do it in hot sauce, I recommend doing vinegar-based hot sauces. I feel like they really get in there. If that makes sense. They really like get into the all the like pores in the meat. Pores? I don't even know if that's the right term, but I feel like they permeate the meat better. Like really vinegary hot sauces, as opposed to like you putting like you marinating something in a really thick last dab type hot sauce. You're really not gonna get that same permeation that you would from something like a Valentina or a Tapatio. In fact, I would say you're wasting money because you're just gonna end up throwing away that hot sauce anyway. You know. Anyways, I put Tapatio on popcorn, says Bo. Word up, word up, word up, word up. I haven't eaten popcorn in a very long time. Very long time. But just to close the point that I was bringing up, I'm trying to... Ow. What was I saying? Oh, I'm trying to come up with more colorful, fun ways for me to transition from one chord to another chord. Chord A, chord B. And that could be honey, it can be ranch, it can be hot sauce. And I know that there's millions being a gross exaggeration. I know that there's a wide array of alternatives and variations and ways to get from chord A to chord B. And I'm trying to experiment with those ways so I don't end up repeating myself a lot. Yesterday, when I was doing a series of hot sauce changes, like these, the beep, that's wrong. I'm not stupid. Oh, I know what that is. Okay, my wrist, I don't know. It's not even really just my wrist anymore. It's like up into the hands now. The virus is spreading. Oh well. I got a Baby Driver poster, guys. I got a poster for the Baby Driver movie. I was thinking of things like when you I like this. Oh, boy. Yeah, I'll try to do something about it. I'll try to do something about it, Lindsay. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was thinking about what Liana's talked about, the space, right? This photo and how there's nothing here. Okay, yeah. Anyways, I was thinking about the space and how it's bland, and I'm still not doing anything with it. But I did put some stuff up around my computer, and I was thinking about like things that people, you know, when you go into a, I'll show it later. I don't feel like moving the camera. I don't like moving the camera. But where was I going with this? Oh yeah, okay. I talked briefly, maybe 10 streams ago, about walking into someone's bedroom. I use the analogy of a 14-year-old girl, but really anybody, because anybody who's in high school that had, I mean, if you have the friends that I had, you go into one of your friends' rooms and you can barely see the walls because it's just plastered in. Everything. Posters, magazine covers, Pokemon cards, some type of trading cards, stickers, a street sign, a brand label. Instax, whatever. Like things are just up everywhere in their room. You're in a collage of this person's inner workings, and it's kind of like a display of all their interests. And I think about like a not a dream board, but kind of just like a tapestry of your interests. What would that look like? I mean, some of you already know what that looks like because this is what your bedroom looks like. I have friends like Neat, whose his space is so indicative of him. You know, you can kind of look, even if you never met Neat, you can kind of be dropped empty into Neat's bedroom and kind of look around and you can kind of get a sense for what type of person this is. You can go like, oh, I think this person likes Pokemon. I think this person likes Japan. I think this person's like vintage synthesizers and drum machines. I think this person likes X, Y, Z. You can kind of do that. My bedrooms have never actually been that way. My bedrooms have always been pretty functional. A lot of this was because I shared a room when I was growing up with two of my sisters. So there wasn't exactly a lot of me space, and that also applies to my sisters. You know, we were all sharing a space, so there just wasn't really a lot of stuff you could put up. I feel like once I finally got to the point where I was having my own room, it just wasn't something that I invested a lot of time into. And I viewed putting up posters almost in the same way that I viewed, to a lesser degree, but in the similar vein that I viewed tattoos, where it was like, tattoos are kind of a display of someone's interests or things that someone cares about, I think that somebody thinks is important, worth remembering, definitely worth adding to their body in some fashion. And I've never had that. Word up, Cyber. I'll see you a little bit later on. And I've just never had that, which is why I don't have any tattoos. I always feel like anything that I like, I don't quite like enough to display, and I don't know what that means. I'm definitely not ashamed of the things, it never feels necessary to display them usually. A lot of the shirts that I have that display things, like the one that I'm wearing right now, was kind of like a friend made it and then just gave it to me. Like I didn't really buy it. The like shirts I have that say Yamaha on the front of them, or say Little Caesars on the front of them, like I didn't, you know. A lot of those things are just like offered up. And like that's kind of cool. And then the sticker posters are more so specifically like not necessarily interests of mine. I am glad that you brought that up though, Lindsay. The sticker posters aren't really interests of mine. The sticker posters are more of a reflection of like just what happened. Whoa. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it now. A lot of it's like show flyers. Like, show flyers that, hey, what's up, everyone? Show flyers I don't even necessarily like the look of. It's just like, I played this thing. Or it's like a friend of mine made a sticker, and I was like, I don't necessarily love this sticker, but you're my friend. Want to be on my year thing? You made this year. I saw it. And I would put it up. It's weird. And I have such a bad memory that I'm glad that those exist because they're very indicative of very specific events or points in time, more so than an overarching interest I have, like putting up like a Ninja Turtle poster or something. It's like, that doesn't really reference one specific event. That's more so just an open interest I have. But when I did start making those sticker posters, I was like, well, this is a fun project because it allows me to catalog the events of a year. Obviously, this year's sticker poster is going to be sparse, to say the least. It's going to be pretty sparse. Not a lot of show flyers and tour flyers for this year. Not a lot of photos with friends and cool stickers I got from around the world this time around. But hey, what's up, everyone? Just talking about, I guess, decor and talking about interest and how those are displayed. I've never really been one that puts the interest on display so much, at least not in that manner. And so, I like when I moved here, I tried to start turning that around, and I got like an Avengers poster, which was kind of funny. Most of the reason I got that Avengers poster is because it's monochromatic. I don't even really like that specific run of the Avengers that much, but whatever. I ended up getting an Avengers poster, which is chill. I put up my like Oswald towel and my Little Caesars towel, and I was like, okay, I'll start putting stuff up. But then I ran out of things very, very quickly. Do I even have enough stickers from 2020 to fill up the poster? Absolutely not, Lindsay. I would argue that this year, I think I only accrued like 6 stickers. I'm gonna have to get really creative with this poster, or really dark, depending on which way I'm feeling at the moment. Hey, what's up, Jevly? How you doing? It's hard for me to get into things like that unless it's something personally, says Diz. Yeah, the only point that I was trying to make is I just feel like I ran out of things very fast. If somebody was just like, Omni, what are the things you're into enough to acquire and hang up a poster of that thing? And I'm like, Oswald Lucky Rabbit. And they're like, what else? And I'm like, nothing. They're like, okay, so what did you kind of like enough to get a poster and put it up? I'm like, comic books are cool. Avengers was alright. Put that up. And then I put up like a Kingdom Hearts thing. I was like, I don't even really like that anymore, but I sure did at one point. So I put that up, and then I recently put up like the Baby Driver poster, and I was like, I like that movie a lot. I did like it a lot is the thing. And then I put up a Katamari poster because that is a big deal to me. Katamari is like the reason I do a lot of things, so that does need to go up. But I was thinking back to Baby Driver, and I was thinking back to like movies I like. A lot of the movies that I really love don't have popularly distributed posters for them. Like I really love the movie Old Boy. I can't find a poster for that movie unless I'm going on like Redbubble and buying some weird printout that somebody made or on DeviantArt or something. Can't find an Old Boy poster. I couldn't find a Baby Driver poster. I couldn't find a good Amelie poster. I love the movie Amelie, but I couldn't find a good poster for it. I did find a somewhat good Paprika poster that I fully intend on putting up at some point. I mean, and buying. I don't have it, but I did find a cool Paprika poster, and that's huge for me. There's a website that has movie posters. I was checking there, and I couldn't find it, Leona. But I did waste a lot of time looking for a really good Old Boy movie poster. I wish I had stickers for my saxophone case, says Erwin. Ooh. I'm sure you'll acquire many in the days, months, and years to come. I'm sure you will. I love that. I'm getting better also, guys, at humming something and going directly to where it is on the piano, which is not a skill I had even a week ago. Wow, does my wrist hurt too? I just found a cool Japanese Amelie poster after 2 seconds of Googling. If it's the poster I think you're talking about, I don't like that poster. Is it the poster where it says Amelie and like katakana up at the very top? And kind of like almost like handwritten katakana? Everyone says, I jammed out with one of my bands yesterday on the piano, and it was quite an awesome experience. Jamming. Jamming is fun. Yeah, it's mostly red. I hate that poster. There's nothing wrong with that poster. It's very nice. I just don't want it. I don't like it. There's a very specific image. Okay, so when I was in Nice, there was an Amelie movie poster. I should have just stolen it. I should have just indulged my delinquent side and stolen the poster, but there was a really, really cool Amelie movie poster because there's a theater in Nice that shows Amelie every year. And it's an Amelie movie poster that was up, and it was so good. And I wanted it so bad. I wanted it so bad. And I can't even find like the image on like Google Images. Joshua says, just started saving up for a computer setup and a VR headset. $20 to start. Well, congratulations, Joshua. That's a good start. a VR headset and a computer. We're up. The door, says Jevly. Jevly's in love with the door. I like the setup adjustments. Oh, Jevly, have you not been here for a minute? Or are you still just, you still appreciate it? It hasn't gotten old yet. Either way, thank you. I appreciate it, Jev. What it looked like says, let's see, it was from the scene of Amelie on the back of the Vespa that homie was driving. I love that movie. Do you ever love something and you're afraid of experiencing again because you're afraid you might not like it as much as you did the first time? What was that song I was playing at the beginning of the medley? That was fun. Like, was it? No. I like that. I might turn that into something. Good morning, Rob. I'm going to build a PC soon myself, says Diz. Good luck on that as well. Yeah, I really want that movie poster. There are a very few things that are very formative for me. And Space Channel 5 is one of them. Katamari, Jet Set Radio, a lot of these. I would love a Jet Set Radio poster. Da 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 da, ba da ba ba, ba da ba ba, ba da ba ba ba, ba da ba ba, ba ba, ba da ba ba. Where's that voice effect on here? Oh. Does that work, actually? Going. Does that work? Whatever. I'll figure it out later. I want to. There is this chord that I put in so many. It's a transitionary chord. It's like a weird. It's not even hot sauce. I don't know what this is, but I do like it a lot, and I've been trying to learn it in other positions on the piano, like here. And also here. I've been trying to learn it in different areas on the piano because it is a really cool transitionary chord. I like doing it from here to here. It just kind of feels like that's where it naturally falls. For example, or here. Just a lot of places where it slides right into this. And so I'm trying to find the other modes of it, I guess. Like, that sounds right? Sounds about right. And then this one. I can hear it. Sometimes you can just hear it. Can't you just hear it when you're that going? It's 125 song. No, that's not it. There it is. If it was like a piano song. Uh, something like that. So just learning the different positions that that chord can be in. Here, like from here, it could be there, it could be there. It can get a lot of, it can be a lot of places. No, sorry, sorry. Maybe. I could do that for a really long time. The melody is good, says Diz. Thank you, Diz. I appreciate that. Sounds like the bass line. Ooh, I forgot. Everyone said sounds like the bass line could go with the 2, 5, 1, 1, 2, 5, 1, 1, 2, 5, 1, number 1, 2, 5, 1, number sign 1 progression. I'm just guessing though, says Erwin. Hey, Erwin. Same. I'm just guessing at whatever. Oh, sharp 1. Wow. Yes. 2, 5, 1, sharp 1. Not only it's in Oakland, but it's going to rain too. Word up, Erwin. What was I doing though? I don't remember. Oh, that one. You ever just rattle off? You rattle off stuff that you know doesn't make any sense, but you do it several times. I mean, this is the whole like repetition legitimizes thing, but you just do it enough times where you're like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. The chord progression of this is something that I literally just played 4 chords. I needed to get back to the beginning of my chord progression, so I played 4 chords that I knew how to play in just a order, and it ended up kind of working, you know. It sounded wonky, but I just kept doing it that way. And then the last time I did it, I went. I accidentally skipped a chord. It's supposed to go. But I skipped the 3rd chord and just went. And I didn't know what to play for the 4th chord, so I went down here. Which also doesn't make a lot of sense, but I just did it a bunch of times and now it sounds right to me. I just really like the chord progression of like building, like climbing up, like. But I don't know where to put that yet. You know, I don't have like a home for it. Oh wait, hold on. No, I can't do that. get to that later though. I have some bad news for you. Uh-oh. Let me narrow this one out. Says Erwin. Turn that into a waltz, says Umbe. Turn what into a waltz? Oh yeah. I did say it. I did say it at the top. I did say it at the top of the stream. I don't know if anybody was actually in here at the very beginning, but I came up and I was like, well, I'm not going to fix it until the stream's over, but we are officially 100 streams behind. It's a throwback stream. Oh, what was it? What was it, Lindsay? 261. 262. These are horrible. Oh, sorry, that's 261. That's why, because 261 was bad. 262. It says it's slap bass, but I am playing it on the high register, so of course it doesn't sound like slap bass up here. It doesn't even really sound like slap bass down there, really. Oh, it says finger slap bass. I don't know. Maybe there's a different version coming later. It was brief. It starts at an hour and 6 minutes. I wrote it down when it happened. 2:59. So on Thursday? Anywho, I might have to look that up, Lindsay, because obviously I don't remember anything I did on Thursday. A minute and 6 seconds. Is there a setting on the keyboard that lets you split up the keys to have, let's say, the lower keys be a keyboard sound and the rest be anything else? Yes, it is called the split function, and I do have it on this keyboard. I just very rarely use it. I rarely use it, Diz. Da, 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 da. I feel like a problem that not a problem. Sorry, let me back up off of that hill before it gets a little hairy up there. Guys, that episode of Baywatch where the woman gets kidnapped by Crips came on again. It comes on once a day, I think. In fact, I'm growing a little suspicious of my Baywatch channel. I think that it's actually not playing every episode of Baywatch in chronological order. I think it's playing like 2 seasons on loop. Anyways, sorry, I was gonna say something kind of important. Sorry, I need to look at the chat to see if I can like jog my memory. Blah blah blah. Playing music, features in the split. It's gone. I lost it forever. Oh right. Okay. So my musical focus when I first started making music was just to make a song, right? I think that's a lot of people's focus. You try to make a song, maybe there's somebody you want to sound like, but in general, you're just trying to make a idea. You're like, I need to make an idea that people will be able to listen to and go, yep, that is a song, definitely a song. I can recognize that anywhere. You're just trying to do that. And then gradually you start to develop your own goals within music. It's like, okay, I know how to make music now, but now what do I want to do with music? Do I want to tell the story? Do I want to be the best piano player in the world? Do I want to be the fastest guitar soloer? Like, what exactly do I want to do? Thank you, Cyber, for that also. What exactly am I trying to do with music specifically? And I think that question has changed over the course of me making music, as I'm sure it has for all of you guys. It just, sorry. Anyways, what was I saying? I got like a weird notification. Okay, I wish I need to just turn notifications off for at least this 2-hour stream, because they can be distracting sometimes. So that question has changed a lot throughout time. There was a specific time when that answer was, how do I wow people? How do I shock people? How do I surprise and engage the listener? I was really focused on engaging, whether it was weird noises, loud sounds, build and release. There was a lot of that in my older music, which is why it sounds the way it does. And then there became a point in my career where I was trying to experiment with sound. What can I actually do with sound? What can I actually do with notes, music, noises? That's where Tall Tales came in. That's why a lot of Tall Tales songs are very loose songs. Like, they're more experimentations. Like, there are songs that came out of Tall Tales that sometimes are played in the stream, like Beneath the City, right? But if you've actually listened to Beneath the City, you will know that the piano part of Beneath the City kind of fades out. It's just the intro. The actual meat and guts of the song is something completely different. And it's more so experimental, like me really playing around with what exactly I can do with sound. I think that towards the beginning, middle of last year, towards the beginning, middle of last year, a lot of that started to change, what exactly I was trying to do with music. For example, like, Ego Death was more so me trying to, like, I want to make something ambient. I want to make something that's very, very reverby and airy and light. Like, there was a stylistic choice being made there. Like, the lyricism and the chords and a lot of the actual performance of those songs didn't matter as much as the overall sonic character of the songs. That's what the focus was. I want to make an ambient song. And I think in 2020, a lot of my focus has been into building rich songs. So you might listen to, I wish this was a Friday stream because I have a million examples of this. You know, we could listen to a lot of them, and a lot of them are like really loop based, you know, when you look at it. Like the song, which I have renamed from Scrumpty, by the way, to Just Believing, but the Cyber song, wait. That song is more so built off of being full and not necessarily surprising. So there isn't a lot of like boom, pow, sparkle, dazzle in that song. It's more so predicated and geared towards being just a full song. And that means that there is a lot of layers put into that song that aren't necessarily audible at all times. Um, a lot of that comes from the same ideology in making orchestral arrangements. A lot of time in orchestral arrangements, guys, speaking as a very, very amateur arranger and composer when it comes to orchestral stuff, you don't really have the luxury of making every instrument the focus. A lot of times you'll have, 10 pieces in an orchestral arrangement, if I'm including woodwinds and everything, and drums. You have like 10 pieces, and a lot of these pieces have to work in tandem with each other to make a sound, to create a mood. There isn't really a spotlight for the flute to shine. There isn't really a spotlight for the violin to be the main character necessarily in this composition. And so I think in a lot of the music that I've been making lately, like when you listen to a lot of those like 125, 130, like disco, house, adjacent songs, a lot of them I'm not really doing anything too complicated. A lot of the piano arrange. A lot of times I'm using Rhodes piano. When I'm using the piano, it's really just it's like kind of just that, and the piano doesn't really do too much outside of that. There isn't really a lot of like funny, fun, experimental, boundary pushing accents or anything like that, jazzy stuff on the piano. It really is just like it's like that, and the bass line is just. It's just like very very simple stuff. It's like two notes basically, just those notes. And then you add a little variation. And that's kind of it. It's kind of just those two chords looping, and then on top of that, I have added, little guitar patch here, little bitty glockenspiel here. It's a lot of very simple layers, maybe 25 or so very simple layers that are building a song that at the surface isn't necessarily complicated or complex to hear. It's very easy listening. Like that is very easy listening. But there's so many layers that are being put onto it. Pads, risers, faders. I did like a little short but informative Instagram story tutorial last night on my Instagram stories about how I fill gaps in music. And the pieces that go into the filling of the gap, all the pieces are pretty standard, small, simple. A reverse crash, a quick little 6 tom fill, like boom, 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 like just a little tom fill, and then like a little arp going up that isn't even a complicated synthesizer, it's just a 3 exhaust. A lot of the stuff that is going into making the music that I make now, especially in the Friday streams, is more so layer based, a lot of simple layers in order to make something that is still not complicated but full. Try not to confuse complication and complexity for richness and fullness. They are very, very different things. For example, you can have an entire symphony orchestra all hit this note and it'll sound very full. You can do it with a lot of articulation, like vibrato. You can have octaves of it. You could have like the flutes way up here hitting it, and it'll sound full, even though it's not complex at all. It's all just one note. Anyways, good morning, Mary. Yes, Crow. Yes, Crow. We're 100 streams ago. This says, I refined the name I came up with for that glistening, arpy piano sound you were playing the one day. Oh, what are you calling it? What are you calling it now, Diz? Where's my mouse? You haven't seen my mouse? Yeah, I assume you're talking about that let's see. I was actually going to use my mouse to click the link that Cyber posted of the timestamp thing. But I don't know where the... Oh, yeah, he was going to say click the link that Cyber said. Yeah, that's what I was going to use my mouse for. I don't know where the heck it is. I think it might be in the living room, because my laptop was in the living room. I was working on stuff yesterday. I want to sing over it, says Umbe. Umbe, you can't arc that hard. Nothing I'm hitting is very complicated. I'm actually hitting the notes very slow. It's just that I have 8 fingers in action. Yeah, it did look harder. Yeah. Isn't that piano? Isn't that just piano for you, Umbe? It always looks harder than it actually is. Piano's actually extremely easy. Makes me think of snow, says Mary. I like this comparison. I'm gonna go get my mouse. Because Crow's getting sleepy. Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that half of it was over. I didn't realize that this stream was basically over. Okay. Wow, just cut my hand off at this point, I guess. I'd rather end my career than live on and this. Oh no, it made me leave the stream. Okay, I can't see any comments you guys are making for a second. Trash man. Oh, I remember that. I don't remember how to play it though. I remember my fingers overlapping and it being really weird. That's not it though. Hold on, I won't be able to hear it anyway with the trash man here. chord rusher. You ever just make something and you look back at it and you don't recognize the, like... You don't recognize the part of you that can do that? This part makes sense. This part makes sense. This part even makes sense, but then going back down into... It's wild to me. Just don't know how I did it. It's so weird. Okay, I'll try. You know what sucks? Looking at myself play piano makes me look so much better at piano than I am. Because when I'm playing piano, you guys, I'm sure piano players in the stream will attest to this. Like when you're playing it, you're not looking at your hands really. You're feeling them. You're in control of them, so they don't seem like they're moving that fast. However, the same thing happens with typing. Have you ever just looked at a video of yourself typing on the computer and you're like, holy crap, I'm a cyborg. I'm really plugged in today. Hold on. I'm trying to do the thing. This sun is tearing me up. I'm gonna be so black by the end of these freaking winter streams because this freaking star here. Where was it? Hold on. See, now I gotta go back to the stream. I thought it was like a minute and 6 seconds. An hour and 6 minutes. I thought it was there, but now I can't find it. Hold on. Am I in the right stream? Okay, I found it. I'm coming back. I'm on my way. Hold on. I'll be there in like 5 minutes. Thank you. Thank you for that tag team effort from Cyber and Lindsay. Ah! Sorry, I could hear myself. What a nightmare. Okay. What if I did it with 118? Isn't 118 that like bell type sound? Fun. It's like weird because my index finger wants to do a thing that's very bad for that pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the problem. Um, Heavens, it is warm. Hello, Taylor. Have a good Tuesday, Taylor Nicole. That was a good one. Why'd you stop? Because I was tired. I got tired, Crow. I feel like you can kind of play. I had this talk with somebody. Let me hold on, guys. I'm gonna like. I feel like I'm going to have a panic attack. Ah, my arms, they're burning. What the heck? No, it's okay. Everything's fine. Anyways, I had a conversation with somebody yesterday about how the vibraphone sound, there's nothing, for whatever reason, there's nothing that can be played with the vibraphone sound that won't sound inherently musical to me. If somebody gets a vibraphone, they go, I go, yes, that is film scoring, baby. Or if somebody goes, I'm like, that sounds cool. But there are a lot of times where I'll pull up the vibraphone sound and I'll just like hit random, like a random notes, because it just never sounds bad to me. For some reason, it just sounds like scoring. Especially the rolls. I'm done with vibraphone. Oh, Omni, you did it. I think I'm getting more in tune with my keyboard, actually. Crow says sounds like Rugrats. I appreciate that comment, Crow. I appreciate that. Hi, Carrot Town. No, it wasn't Arnold Schwarzenegger. Did I sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger? Okay, some days, guys, I super don't feel like doing the news. I don't know what it is. Today feels like everybody already knows the news. I feel like sometimes there's choice streams where everybody knows the news, but I have to remember that people watch these streams after they're over. This is an entire demographic of people that I am thankful for, but also occasionally forget about. If you're watching the stream later and you're hearing me say this, I apologize. It's just, I think of it as a live thing, and then once it's over, it's over. I don't think about living beyond the confines of the hour or two that I'm actually here. So I will go over the news. I do have a EP out called Signals. It's all like really bouncy, jazzy, fun. Bouncy, jazzy, fun music. And I also have an EP called House of Omni. That song's called Embrace. It's off of House of Omni. Go check that out. It's a collaborative EP with me and the people that I was living with at the time. Also, I have a thing called Tall Tales, which I did play Beneath the City from today. Remember that? That song, inspired by the New York subway, is on my Tall Tales EP. Go check that out. It's more experimental, but it has some piano work in it as well, including a song, Immortal, that I wrote for my grandma. Now to go over the Dream series, starting with Nice Dream. It's kind of like fun, energetic pop, electro pop music, I guess. Followed by Love Dream, which was um, more so an album and its execution, which Cyber brought up recently. If you haven't heard Love Dream in its entirety, first of all, if you listen to Love Dream like on maybe SoundCloud and some other things, you're probably not hearing it in its album form. If you listen to it on Bandcamp, you do get like all of the intermissions and stuff like that and the full narrative context of it. So go listen to that if you have a chance. It loosely plots a relationship from beginning to the opposite of beginning. And then that's followed by Speed Dream, which is a much more strict narrative based body of music that I released. Go check that out as well. And that's followed by Daydream, which is more so orchestral. Goodbye, Diz. Thank you so much for being in the stream. More so orchestral, but it has a lot of like fancy percussive work, so more like drum and bass. There's some breakbeats in there. There's even some stuff in there that borders on, but doesn't really tiptoe over the line into footwork. But we can get into that later. That's followed by Lush Dream, which is more so chill, loungy, beat-driven music, kind of loop-based as well, sample-based as well. I sampled a lot of my older songs in that, so go check that out when you get a chance. Also, following that, I have some twin EPs, sister EPs, split EPs, whatever you want to call them. A wide array of what I was really making in 2019. Which was like footwork, house, R&B. And then the second half of it is completely ambient. It's all ambient. Go check that out also if you get a chance. Please. Also, while we're in the spirit of news, I said this at the top of the stream. I'm going to go ahead and repeat it now. I did revisit some of the songs we made. The songs we made, the dreams we shared. I did revisit some of those ideas that we had from Friday, including the song where I took a bunch of samples from people in the Discord stream, and I made like 3 arrangements to it. Like last night, I like added a couple arrangements to it just because I was afraid that I might forget. Like I'm trying not to work on those things. Like usually when I start something in the stream, like in the studio streams on Fridays, I try not to add anything to those songs. When I'm not streaming. I would like for you guys as listeners, maybe budding producers, maybe very experienced producers, maybe just people that are curious about what I'm working on. I would like for you guys to be able to clock beginnings of songs, like early stages to the middle, to the essential completion of the track. I would like for it to all be existent in the streams. I think going forward, and this is a little block of the stream that I did kind of partition away to talk about the season 3 stuff. So I think in season 3, what I'm probably going to end up doing, which will be a little bit more work, but I think will be maybe more beneficial or helpful for people, is what I want to start doing is actually cataloging, whether it's in the description of the video or it's like in the Discord, I want to start cataloging exactly what songs are being worked on which streams. So for somebody that doesn't necessarily have time to come into every single production stream, but there was a specific song they really liked and they wanted to keep up with, I want them to arguably be able to just look at the video description or wherever I'm putting this information and see which songs were worked on, to save them having to possibly scrub through an entire 6-hour long video just to discover that the song they wanted to see worked on was not worked on in the end. I want to avoid that just so it saves other people some time, because I do have it live where sometimes people will come into streams and they'll ask about a song that they wanted to see me work on or they wanted to hear, and then I'm looking up at my clock and it's like 3:15, so it's like I'm already over. And so I feel bad for those people. And so instead of having a clear plan of songs that I will work on beforehand, because sometimes the songs are new, instead of having a clear plan of what songs I'll work on beforehand, I at least feel like I'm confident enough to be able to include that information in post, like put it in the description of the video. I do want to say, while I'm going over this news, my monitor has died, my internet has died. I have no internet right now, so as soon as it comes back on, I will read any comments that are happening right now. But yeah, that's the thing that I think I'm gonna include in season 3, because it's gotten to the point to where in the beginning of the production streams, guys, it used to be really easy. It used to be, I would sit down and work on maybe 6 songs throughout the stream, work on one song for like an hour, like open up a new one, start that idea. And now it's gotten to the point where all of those songs are becoming heavily developed. So if you were in last Friday's stream, you might have noticed towards the end, what I ended up doing was actually pulling up songs like Just Believing, or pulling up songs like Spronk, and just adding a little bit, like adding a glockenspiel here, and then closing it, pulling up another one, adding a ride cymbal here, closing it, pulling up another one, adding some tom drums. Like, I've gotten to the point officially now where the bulk, like the 80% progression of a lot of these songs is actually finished. So I'm just opening up and like adding little like tidiness and tidbits and doing mixing stuff here and there to those songs, while I'm allowing other newer songs to be made, to be produced, to be written in the stream. But this is something that I'm probably going to end up doing going forward. Okay, my monitor is back on. Hello, Justin Blue. Welcome back. Do you know what you'll do do you know when you'll do an ambient production stream? If that's still a thing, that is still a thing that I'm probably gonna do. I don't want to do it this Friday. I do not want to do it this Friday because I have some very specific ideas that I need to get out for some stuff that I was working on last Friday, but soon. I can say soon, probably next month if I'm being honest. I might have to leave. I might have to skip some streams coming up. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Probably next month if I'm being optimistic and also vague at the same time, Lindsay. Before next year. I want to do it before next year, and I feel like the only time to do that now is December, because this month is basically forfeit for me as far as production streams go. But yeah, that's just a little thing I wanted to touch on for season 3, because now I feel like we've gotten to the point where the production streams, instead of building new things every single stream, the stream has kind of a discography of its own now, where I'm opening up songs that I started, 5 streams ago. Until I get them to like 90, 95%, you are going to keep hearing them in the stream while I develop these songs. Songs that have gotten to like 90%, I would say is like Dropout. Dropout is maybe the most complete song that we have made in the stream, where I feel like it really is like ready, like for some final mixing stuff, and then that song's done. I just can't add anything else to it. The song Dudes is getting there too. It's getting there very rapidly. I opened it up last Friday and added some stuff, but I feel like I'm like putting makeup on like the prom queen at this point. I just feel like it's done. They've already won. They've won the people over. They've won me over. At this point, I'm just doing busy work on them. So some of the songs are kind of rounding out. We're getting really close to completion, but there are a lot still that need more stuff. And one of the main reasons for this is I want to record vocals for a lot of these, but I do not want to record vocals in the stream. I do not want to record vocals in the stream. At least not right now. One of the main reasons that I don't want to do this, even though I did fix the echo thing, the little delay that I would get in my monitors, I did fix that, which is really nice. But the reason that I don't want to record vocals in the stream is because my vocal recording process is way messier than my instrument recording process. And that's because when I record stuff, I'm constantly comping out new vocals and changing lyrics. And so I don't really want you guys to have to sit through that. Nor do I think it'll be fun for me to do in front of you guys. So probably not going to be doing the vocal work live on the stream. But I can have you guys in the stream see me mixing it and arranging vocals. Because I think for the most part, a lot of people aren't necessarily confused by or mystified by or curious how I record the vocals, but more so curious about how I mix and doctor and process the vocals. Because we can all sing. But sometimes, you know, we have difficulties when processing things. I'm including myself in those people. So, that's probably what I'll be spending more on the stream. The actual processing of the vocals. I hate doing the news, Cyber. I hate doing the news so much. I hate the news. Okay, I just want to be thorough, I guess. I don't know. But I do hate doing the news. Sometimes I wish that somebody else did it, and I could kind of like ring them in and then like chill while they. Or I wish it was automated. Oh, maybe in season 3 we'll have automated news bumps. Anyways, crap, season 3 is getting really close, guys. I mean, right now, with the title of this stream, it looks very optimistically far, but it is getting really close, so I do need to start, like, putting buttons on a lot of the final stuff. You can hear my music on Bandcamp, you can hear it on SoundCloud, you can hear it on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon MP3, Tidal, Group, Deezer, Pandora, Napster, and YouTube. On YouTube, I have some exclusive stuff like the Quarantunes and remix videos that I've put up for you all. And with everybody re-entering lockdown, it looks like when I come back next year, I'm going to be able to continue Quarantunes right where I left off. I'll be able to release Quarantunes number 9 because quarantine is forever, baby. We're never going to be out of it. So this is good. This is good for me. This is good for you. This is good for America. It's good for music that I can have an extended period of time to make and release Quarantunes. Maybe I'll even use one of the in the stream tunes. Maybe, guys, maybe I'll take one of the stream tunes like Bus Fare, and I'll rebuild it live, and then make a video out of it and call it Quarantunes number 9 Bus Fare, and I'll like sing some like wackadoo lyrics over it about how $1.75 is far too much to pay for a bus to downtown. Who knows? Anyways, point is, I'm coming back to Twitter in 2021, and I talked about it in depth to a friend yesterday and how much I like don't want to. I don't want to end this stream on a bad note about how much I do not like Twitter right now. God, I never thought this would be me, you know? I remember other people saying, like, Twitter's trash. And it was 2016, and I was like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. This is Disneyland. It's amazing. The most beautiful place on earth. Look, a funny video. I'm gonna go remix Little Pump. I'm sure this won't backfire in 3 years. Anyways, what was I saying? I'm coming back to Twitter in 2021, so we'll see how that fares. I went into Twitter now. I was getting into it, so I'm lucky. I went to Twitter. What? I guess you're lucky. I guess that's lucky, Umbe. If you ever decide to do an official Quarantune album or EP, you should include a dance mix of all of them back to back. What about French Lavender though? I think about that all the time. I think about how the Quarantunes is so much fun, and until you hear this one, and I'm like, why did they make that one? It doesn't really fit in with the other ones. I feel like Quarantunes. If you look at Quarantunes, it's a very, very good 1 to 8. It's it's a very good trajectory of where my brain was. Like at the beginning of quarantine, just being like, yeah, I just want to make fun music, and then like really serious, loving music, and then it kind of got funny and whimsical, and then it just got absurd at the end. I honestly do feel like Quarantine's number 8 is the most absurd piece of music I've ever made, and I don't know how to like, pull the reins back in and get more control of the quarantine narrative. I feel like I've lost it. I feel like Quarantines will probably just be a more absurd uh, release platform going forward, unless my mental outlook on the world improves somehow. How does Twitter work? Says Mary. People just say stuff into a void, but everybody can see the void. Um, if you were honestly just asking how Twitter works, it's literally just like it's just a space where people say things and show things. It's like the most boiled down, bells and whistle less version of most other social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram. Um, that's how I would say it works. Umbe says you follow good things and good people only, and you have a good time, is how Twitter works. Or you follow bad things and end up in eternal suffering. I'll put it this way, Umbe. Even if I follow only good things and good people, Twitter still isn't good for me. It still doesn't. That doesn't make it suck any less. It doesn't make it suck any less. I gotta be real. My experience on Twitter. A lot of people's experience on Twitter is obviously different. Some people experience Twitter as like, hey, I just have a feed and I just want to see cool things, which is cool. But when you're a contributor at any level really, but at a certain level, you no longer only interacting with things that you follow. You are, if you're a public figure, now things just find you, whether you follow it or not. I don't follow any wild, awful Twitter accounts, but Twitter is wild and awful for me. If that makes sense. On Twitter, it says Jevly, I can only follow artists, illustrators, and animators mostly, so when I get on, I just see nice art. I enter my own bubble of art. I am envious of your ability to do that, Jevly. I just can't do that. I think that's a lot of people's response when I say Twitter's bad. They're like, just follow good accounts, and then it'll be good. And that is a very good piece of advice. Just not for me. It just doesn't work like that for me. Because I do follow like some really cool. I have a whole I would say that a good chunk of my follows are just like animators. I just follow a lot of like animators that post like key animation. I like get a kick out of that. When people post like the animation, but you can see like it's like the plane, like the grid plane in the background, you can see it like moving, and I'm like, yo, I don't know how these people do this. It's so much more complicated to look at than music for sure. But like I follow a lot of that. And then like other producers. But yeah, just because I follow that, because again, Jeff Lee, Mary, and Umbe and everybody, because I'm a public figure on Twitter, even if I don't tweet, like for example, I haven't like really tweeted anything since like June. That stuff still finds me, just because. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? If it doesn't make sense, I'm not gonna elaborate, but hopefully, if it makes sense. Oh, I never played Hush Hour. I'm actually glad, because I'm not done with the news. Anyways, the news is I'm coming back to Twitter in 2021. And I don't foresee good things. But I foresee things. There should be some music. There isn't. There isn't, Lindsay. There is nothing I can do to make it less, make it like suck less for me. Other than not being on it. Twitter doesn't suck as much for me right now because I just haven't been on it. Every now and then I'll get on. I still have notifications. There's still like DMs rolling in. But, I'm not really on it, like that. And it's been chill. I've been generally less, annoyed. That's for sure. It makes sense. The only solution I see is to get a secret account and only follow good stuff. I'm so glad that you said that, Jevly. Um, Getting a private account for me would be the antithesis to why I even exist on the internet. The only reason I'm actually on the internet is just like to share music and like share musical ideas. And so if I made a private account, I'm not doing that. So I don't even have like the idea of like private Twitter and private social media, or like a secret Twitter, or like a Finsta, like has never really been a thing that appeals to me, because I actually wouldn't be, if I didn't make music, I don't know that I would actually be on the internet. Most of my existence on the internet as an adult is just like pushing music out and like musical ideas, and having wow, having like networking opportunities with other musicians and artists, because an artist community is pretty imperative to being a growing artist, I suppose. But yeah, if like music weren't really my thing, I don't know that I would be on Twitter. I wouldn't have anything interesting to say. Same thing with Instagram. Or maybe no, I don't, like, what would I even be sharing? In-N-Out Burger? I don't know. I don't know that I have anything interesting to say outside of music. Producers generally have more fluid accounts. It's never just music, so you sadly end up with a lot of bad screen. So yeah, like I said, gotta split up accounts, says Umbe. Oh crap, the cops are here again. Why? Why? What was I saying? Blah 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 blah. I was talking about Twitter. So, sounds like the only solution is for someone to do the social media for you, says Lindsay. Yeah, honestly, yeah. A lot of my friends that don't actually run their social media and just have like somebody run their social media, like, wow, they seem like they're having such a good time. Sorry. I never say anything on Twitter unless I am responding to art, says Jevely. That's hot. That's hot. I appreciate that. Why did it say 162? Was that a typo? Zodiac, that was a typo. It's supposed to be 262. By the way, welcome to the stream, Zodiac. The ending of the stream, not the end, but the ending for sure. I don't like it a ton, says Umbe, but telling an artist they do good work on Twitter feels so nice. Yeah. I mean, but that's, you know, that's what I'm there for. I think it's rough. I think Twitter is a really, really cool place. Here's my ideal Twitter. Does anybody remember DeviantArt? Does anybody remember DeviantArt? Well, if you don't, DeviantArt was a place where people could post art. You can comment under the art, things about art. You can write this person notes, but even if you did that, it was kind of just if you wanted to say something nice, or I guess something mean if you were a particularly mean-spirited person. And privacy, it was like a DM. You could send people notes, but you can make comments on people's things. I wrote a lot of poetry. I did a lot of like animations, like flash animations on DeviantArt. That was like really all I did: poetry and flash animations. And I had some friends that were very talented and got like daily deviations, which was like a form of an award system that the site gave out every day. It was a cool community of artists. I'm sure that there was bad there, because you can't have a community of people, human beings, without there being bad. But the thing that was cool about it was really art driven. It was really for artists. If you had a DeviantArt account, you were either an artist or you were somebody that loved art. You loved art so much that you made an account on this art thing. It was art focused. And a lot of my existence online, after I became serious about music, whatever that means, was art focused. It wasn't a lot of like I've never really been like a memer. I wasn't like sharing memes or like doing, if I couldn't roll art into it somehow, I usually just didn't make an account on said platform. SoundCloud was a blessing because SoundCloud was like very specifically for me as a musician. You got to make music and you shared that music. Then people could share that music within the platform. They could share that music outside the platform. They could comment directly on songs with a timestamp. Like they could comment right at the part that they wanted to bring attention to and go, this part right here, this part sucks, and they could say something out of the song. It was really nice. It was really cool. Very cool community, and nothing really existed like that before. SoundCloud was um, like a pioneer in that realm. There had been music platforms, kind of before. There was like music MySpace and stuff like that, but nothing so direct and music focused as SoundCloud. And so that was where my home was. As SoundCloud started to die, and a lot of us needed to diversify, I made accounts on other things. I made, an Instagram account. I made a Twitter account. Twitter was hard because when I first made a Twitter account, I don't think you could share videos on it. I don't think you could share videos on it. I think it was literally text based, and so I wasn't posting a lot of interesting stuff. Okay, they're leaving. They're leaving. I wasn't posting a lot of interesting stuff, and then once you could post videos on Twitter, I was like, oh heck yeah! Like I'll just post videos of myself playing piano. I'll stream here. But the thing is, it's not an art focused platform. It's not really for art. If you're an artist, you can post art there. You can post anything there, but it's not for art. And so a lot of the other things, like social discourse and like harassment and hot takes and all of that stuff, get kind of jumbled into the overall Bisquick mix that is Twitter art scene. And so that is why I don't like Twitter. I wish that I could just go on Twitter and it was an art focused platform, but it's not. And people will say, we'll only follow artists, and that'll make it an art focused platform, but that's just not true. You can't have, I would argue, you can't have over 6,000, I'm just picking an arbitrary number. You can't have over 6,000 followers and have a very sterile existence on Twitter without being very liberal with blocking people. I don't feel like that's possible. And I feel like I crossed that line at some point. And so, especially in 2020, Twitter got awful. It's just a nightmare for me right now. So yeah, I haven't really been on it. I think my gripe isn't so much specifically with Twitter. It's more so just like, I miss having a art-focused platform. And I'm not saying platforms like that don't exist right now. I'm just saying that my following happens to exist in some of those. I almost said A-artistic. Not particularly art-focused platforms. I'm extremely liberal with blocking people, and I have a regular person amount of followers. Word, right? So your existence on Twitter is probably very different than mine. As somebody that is not particularly liberal with blocking and has a regular person amount of followers, what is a... I don't want to actually know the answer to that question. That conversation can go nowhere. One of the artists I follow will insta-block you if you DM or message her unsolicited. Honestly, I respect that. Boundaries. Yeah, that's really cool. I can't do that. I currently, just at like at my current level, I am like, I feel like I'm like even as little as I do, I'm always like pissing somebody off. There's always somebody that's like pissed at me for some reason, and so I feel like if I start liberally blocking people, that like, oh man. Anywho, she got like thousands of tags on the new PS5. She's just like, oh, why? Why did she get a bunch of tags about the new PS5? I block the accounts of people who buy ads, promote posts on Twitter. Ooh, that's sick, actually. that's sick. I've blocked 3 people. Yes. And they are also artists. They're people that I've known personally. She likes Yu-Gi-Oh! And the PS5 looks like Kaiba's outfit. Oh, because of the collar. So you've been making Kaiba's head put on top. That's pretty funny. With respect to your friend, Ava, anytime anything remotely Little Caesars based happens in the news or on a news feed, I get flooded with tags and DMs. And everybody's like, this Omni right here, like, Omni Boy, you seen this? At Omni Boy, look at this. This is at Omni Boy. Like, I get it. Anything. It could even not be necessarily Little Caesars. It could be like a bust of Caesar. It could be a bust of Caesar that somebody's photoshopped a hot and ready onto like the bottom of the photo, and somebody goes like, Omni Boy, oh my god, you make this? There was a photo that was circulating for a while where somebody had like made a laptop basically out of like a Little Caesars pizza box. Like it was a Little Caesars pizza box with like a keyboard and like a screen. I got tagged for months. There was another one where somebody had made a fight stick out of a crazy bread box. Tagged for months. Mike Ilitch, the CEO of Little Caesars, died. Tagged. Still getting tags for that one because like he was paying Rosa Parks' rent. Tagged. Like, so I empathize with your friend Ava. I feel like the Little Caesars gamut that's currently been going. Like I made my bed. I did this. By just liking Little Caesars, I did this to myself. But yeah, it can be annoying. But that is funny. I've never put two and two together that the PS5 looks like Seto Kaiba's jacket. That's really funny. To be fair, she posted saying she'd mute and she wanted to stop tagging because she'd start blocking. It's still very funny to me. That's very funny. That is very funny. Okay, guys, we went almost 30 minutes over the time. News somehow turned into a completely different conversation. I do appreciate you guys though for being engaging and involved in the conversation. I think I did cover all the news, by the way. I had something kind of happen to me like that in real life. I like Beach Boys. Parentheses nostalgia. And when I got a new car, for 4 friends bought me Beach Boys CD. Yikes. Do I like Beach Boys? I think Beach Boys has contributed so much cool stuff to music. What was it called? Pet Sounds or something? They've contributed a lot of stuff to music, particularly their harmonies and their compositions were really, really cool. I don't particularly like the Beach Boys, but I respect so many particular techniques that they've done that I've even rolled into my songs at times. But I couldn't name like 4 Beach Boys songs. I've never heard the term a car band. I've been on a lot of road trips, and I've never considered that, like music you only listen to during a road trip. Beach Boys. I think that, why is Twitter dumb? What did Twitter do, Cyber? My friend's car band is Moldy Peaches, and it's suffering incarnate. To be fair, it's probably a Midwest thing. If I want to do something, I gotta drive at least 3 hours. That's fair. That's fair. Arizona, similar, not quite. Arizona is more so like an hour. Like if you want to drive something cool, it's gonna take you 45 minutes to an hour. And, or at least where I was living in Arizona. And when I went on road trips though, I think when I went on road trips, it never felt. Wow, that's like wow. You bring up a really good point that I would love to break apart, but it's just it's 11:30 and I need to get out of here. But dang, I wish if you're in a future stream, please remind me to talk about that and like road trip etiquette. Every single road trip I've ever been on has been with a lot of people. You know, at least two other people. And the way we divvied up who got to choose the music and what actually ended up getting listened to is always very unique per road trip. Oh, word. That's good. I like that Toyotathon always comes back. Toyotathon, or like Happy Honda Days. I'm glad that like we do have like capitalism's cool. Ava says my dad's a musician who loves listening to music in the car, so like could just be a thing I think is normal but isn't. Listening to music in the car is super normal. Um, uh, I just I haven't listened to music in my car for years because my stereo's broken. I just never fixed it. Um, so I always drive in silence when I do drive, which isn't very often. Capitalism is cool. Capitalism legitimizes. All my homies love Toyotathon, says Umbe. Ava says singing along with music for 3 hours on a road trip is valid. I already made my breakfast today, so I'm actually not hungry right now. It's really weird ending a stream with a full tummy. So I might go like make a really really small smoothie, and then I have to get to work. I have a lot of oh crap, it's Tuesday. No, I have to go to downtown and get 2 slices of pizza nista, and then I'm gonna come home, and then I gotta work. I got a lot of work to do, guys, and I'm so confident that I can do it. I got a really good start last night, and I have a poster now of the King of All Cosmos, just his head, and looking at it has really been like. It sounds really silly, but it's been like inspiring. He was so mean to his son, and I feel like him being mean to his kid is what made his son able to achieve greatness. It was the very harsh judgment that allowed him to grow. Like, what's the saying? Like, under a lot of pressure, you can turn coal into a diamond. Don't think that's true, but I feel like that's happening to me right now with the King of All Cosmos, and so that's been nice. I think I'm gonna get through it all, guys. I think I'm gonna get through everything, and if I don't, whatever. I'm spread pretty thin. Um, Capitalism legitimizes I lost my appetite. That's funny. That's pretty funny, Lindsay. That's pretty funny. Capitalism legitimizes is pretty funny. Yeah, I can show the posters before I get out of here. I already played Hush Hour. I want to thank everybody for being respectful to me and polite to each other. I will be back here for Morning Medley 263 tomorrow. Sorry about the mix-up. I will change it. I will fix it. Also, I did run out of I ran out of thumbnails because my Google Drive like isn't updating for some reason right now. It's a nightmare, so I have to go do that. So everything's going to be fixed. But again, thank you everybody for being respectful and polite to each other. I do really appreciate you guys. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Eat pizza if you can. Eat pizza if you can. And I'll go over the posters, the Corsairs. It's like up and to the left. It's above the Baby Driver poster. Wait, who gave $5? I'm just now seeing that. Who did that? I can't see comments, so whoever did that, thanks a lot. I do really appreciate that. I'm sorry I didn't notice it when it happened. All right, Abo everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.